All right. Good morning, guys. Well, here we go again. And today, what I want to come at you to discuss is how to deal with critics or when dealing with critics. Something I thought hit me last night. In this world, you will have many critics. Now, some of you know that as in this world, you will have many troubles. And the Oh man, sometimes that criticism comes in the form, or sometimes those troubles rather come in the form of critics and criticism, and whether it's an email that's like, that was a bit much, or a text message that, okay, maybe we just should have spoke on the phone, or even a conversation that maybe we just should have FaceTimed, or there's some sort of communication that's really maybe rough or aggressive or a bit over the top. And it's, how do I handle this? And how do I process this? What do I do with this? We know that there is an innate desire for each one of us, and it doesn't matter how old you are, there is a desire within all of us to want to share in and experience and enjoy things like healthy friendships and community. It's part of the reason why the last year has been such a tough experience for so many who have been isolated in their own homes or in an apartment structure complex somewhere. And fresh air and community are have been limited and things like that. So we're designed to enjoy one another. So there's three things that I want to come at on this issue of how to deal with critics today. And the first one is, I just wouldn't be doing my job unless I quoted Billy Graham at least once in a while. And it was Billy Graham who said, the late Billy Graham, who said that we should learn how to turn our critics into coaches. Now, regardless your thoughts or your opinions of Billy Graham, it is, a verifiable fact that this is a person who during his day, his name is world known, is known around the world. Who is a global figure. Billy Graham is an icon in humanity. He is one of those people who kind of rose into superstardom, if you will, in his respective work. And it was Billy Graham, of all people, who said that we should learn to turn our critics into coaches. Now, what does that mean? There's at least two takeaways from what it means to turn our critics into coaches. The first takeaway I have is, one, you know what? Sometimes our critics are accurate. Sometimes we do need to pay attention to what's being said about us, because it wasn't too long ago in a podcast where we talked about how iron sharpens iron, and so does a man sharpen the countenance of his friend. And it's the second part of that. So does a person sharpen the projection or appearance of their friend? And that's the second takeaway from the quote. Make sure you qualify how much of who you listen to. Let me make that a little more clear. I need to know whether or not a person is just being belligerent toward me, or if they truly have my best in mind. And if they have my best in mind, then I can listen to more of this person. I can take in, I know how much to absorb, right? I know how much, like, if my wife comes to me with something that's just pressing or urgent, or, John, there's an issue here and we need to talk about this, man, my ears are going to perk up. If Alexis comes at me like that, like, I'm like, my world is going to stop to hear what she has to say. And that's healthy. But what if someone makes a nasty comment on this Facebook video? Or what if someone, something like that, they drop a nasty comment on Instagram or stuff like that? Will I read it or hear it? Probably. I'll probably read it. I'll probably hear it. But I'll also have to qualify how much bandwidth of my day, how much energy to that comment am I actually going to give attention to? So keep that intention, right? If Alexis comes at me with something, or if one of the boys come at me with, like, Dad, there's something going on here and we really need to talk, that's going to, oh man, you better believe, like, that's going to get priority, whether it's just, someone out in the periphery somewhere who maybe I don't really have a relationship with, right? So that kind of leads into the second thing I want to say here. Um, be careful of, and I made notes, so I'm reading my notes, okay, because I wanted to get this right for you guys. Be careful of seeking the approval of people you want to bring you down. Or I'm sorry, let me try this again. Be careful of seeking the approval of people who want to bring you down to their level of expectation. So, what does this mean? Instead, surround yourself with those who want what's best for you and who want to see you grow. So, again, it's that big idea of who cares for me and who truly wants what's best for me. Now, what I'm thinking here is this is a little deeper. What if there are people in my immediate family? What if there are people in my immediate friend group or peer group who I think these people care for me, but at the same time, they keep bullying me, or they keep picking on me, or they keep just really like railroading me, or they keep coming at me like really strong, or they keep trying to maybe manipulate me either even, or they keep in some way. I just feel like, this person's trying to push me down, or they're trying to, keep their thumb on me. There's some unhealthy approval seeking within me that I feel like I need from this person, whether I ever say it or not, right? This can be, think about a mom, think about a dad, for example, and say that this dad has a son who, the son is just lighting up, he's killing it, he's making money, he's doing all these things, he's doing great and wonderful things in the world. And the dad, I mean, maybe the dad has a drinking problem, or the dad, something like that. There's some sort of, it's something like in this man's life. Think about parents who try to live vicariously through their kids. Think about, a father who's trying to relive his glory days of high school athletics through his son, and he keeps just coming at his son, but the son really desires the approval of the father. That's what I mean here on this point. We need to be careful. We need to be careful whose value, whose attention, whose approval we're seeking. While I will stop and listen to a team member if they have something to say, while I will stop and listen to my wife if she comes at me with something that's, really like, we got to talk about this, John. This is kind of a recurring issue. While I'll listen to my kids, there's also a healthy line in there. My life is not lived out for the approval of Alexis. That's unfair to her, because she's learning and growing herself. And on that, just another thing there. Alexis and I were married really young, man. We were married really young. I took her off the market as soon as I could, like I knew you're the one, and we got married and loved it. But the thing is neither Alexis or myself, we are not the people that we were when we first got married. We're not at all. We've changed so much over the last, we've had 23 Valentine's days together, and we have changed so much over the past couple of decades. Plus, we've learned and we've grown, and we've found we're working to add value in our communities, and we're working to add value in our home, and we're working to love one another, and so we have to give, if you will, you have to give the other permission to grow. You have to give the other room to change and to learn, and to even make mistakes, and to fail, and to learn, grow through failure, and grow through pain, and grow through the struggle, and things like that. I hope that makes sense on that. The third thing that I want to say, that if critics teach us anything, the way we process a critic is a direct indicator Please take this one away. If you don't get anything else this morning, please take this one away. This is the one that like is so heavy on my heart today. This is the one that I want to share the most. If critics teach us anything at all, anything, the way we process a critic's comments or a critic's response to my life, it is a direct indicator of the condition of my heart. Do I become defensive or angry? Do I become embittered when I'm considering the comments or the responses or the remarks of a critic? What does it do to me? Does it completely disable me? Does it completely debilitate my productivity in this world when I'm confronted with the comments of a critic? If it does, chances are there's some sort of self-worth piece, there's some sort of self-value piece that I'm still struggling with internally. Like, for me, I don't have peace with John. I don't have peace with myself. It's like, oh, I'm living in the fear of imposter syndrome. I'm living in the fear of I'm a fake it till I make it, but I'm a faker. I'm living in the fear of believing that I'm a faker. And that's why I really honestly can't stand that statement. While I love Amy Cuddy's book, Presence, I really wish she would have said, be it until you become it. That's what I really wish she would have said, because no one wants to be a faker. Don't fake it until you make it. Be it until you become it. And that's when I receive a salty email or some sort of message that's like, what, or some sort of communication that may feel critical. I have to first check the condition of my own heart. Do I get defensive? Do I get angry? Do I get, does it wreck, does this inapproval from another completely wreck me and like my train of life? So those are the things that I want to share with you today. I appreciate you guys for listening. I appreciate you guys for being here and checking out what we're trying to do. You've probably noticed that we're taking these videos, these live streams that I do on my personal Facebook page in the mornings. We're turning these into podcasts. I'd love to invite you to subscribe to our podcast. This is season 2, Life That Counts. You can find it in iTunes, on Stitcher, on Spotify, on wherever podcasts are found. We'd love for you to subscribe to our podcast. Even more, we'd love to hear your comments and your feedbacks. If we've ever said or done anything that has been an encouragement for you, I'd love to hear your comments, whether it be a comment here on the live Facebook that's going on the screen to my right, which those of you listeners don't see, but it's here. I promise. I'll take a picture and post it maybe. And if not on Facebook, we'd love to hear your feedback via an email, as long as it's not a critical feedback. We'd love to hear your response, your thoughts. If we've ever been a help to you in your walk or your journey, you can send us an email, info at lifethatcounts.org. We always appreciate those Facebook likes, Life That Counts, the page there. And as well, there's so much more content that we've produced over the years, just like this. If this is useful to you, and you can find that youtube.com/life that counts. Hey, be well. God bless. Have an amazing day. I don't know what day it is for you when you're listening to this, but for me, today is a Wednesday. So wherever this finds you, I hope you're well in the world. Be blessed. And man, know that you're loved. Know that you have value. You are a value add to this world. And the more quickly that you can believe that, the more quickly some of these little nitpicks will roll off you like water off a duck's back. But in the process, some things do hurt, and some things do sting a bit. So my encouragement, man, is keep your head up, hang in there, know who is worth the consideration of your value and your time. So from Life That Counts, have an amazing day, man. Go crush it, and we'll catch you later.